Tottenham Hotspur are again being linked to Manchester City and England star Jack Grealish, but he would need to take a huge pay cut to join Spurs. Reports are stating that Spurs are interested in Aston Villa star Leon Bailey. The Daily Mail have just reported a whole host of Premier League clubs are interested in Jonathan David from Lille, and Spurs are one of those clubs on the list. Daniel Levy has come out and said that Spurs want at least £100 million if Christian Romero is to join either Atletico Madrid or Real Madrid this summer. And Alan Brazil has come out and said, I hear Ange Postecoglou is not a vocal leader. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all keeping well. My name is Chris Cowlin, and this is another episode of Tottenham News, where I'll be going through all of the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. So let's start with a report from The Independent all about Tottenham Hotspur centre-back Christian Romero. They are stating that Spurs chairman Daniel Levy has told Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid that they will need to pay at least £100 million to sign Romero this coming summer. The Daily Telegraph have just reported that Tottenham have not held talks over Fabio Paratici returning to a full-time position at the club once his worldwide ban ends in June 2025. On Saturday, the Tottenham Hotspur under-18s were in action. They drew 1-1 at home at Hotspur Way in the under-18 Premier League. Lehane scoring Tottenham's goal in the first half. West Ham then equalised in the second half, and then Spurs missed a penalty through Hall, who crashed it against the crossbar. So it ended 1-1. Now, the Daily Mail have just reported that Newcastle have joined Tottenham, West Ham, Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United and Liverpool in the race to sign highly rated Lille forward Jonathan David. Give Me Sport have just reported that Tottenham are eyeing a move for Manchester City star Jack Grealish, but the England star would need to take a pay cut if he was to join Spurs. He is currently earning around £300,000 per week at the Etihad Stadium. Tottenham's wage structure means that their star players do not earn more than £200,000 a week, and that would put him in line with their top earners like Heung-min Son. Give Me Sport have also stated that AC Milan are interested in the England star. Former Tottenham Hotspur forward Alan Brazil, now of course TalkSport pundit, he has been talking about Ange Postecoglou. He said, I hear Ange is a bit like that, not a vocal leader. He doesn't really get into the players. He tells them what he wants and that is it. He's not one of those who is in your face. Now, former Tottenham Hotspur midfielder Victor Wanyama was sent off just 19 minutes into his debut for Scottish club Dunfermline Athletic. His side lost 3-0. Tottenham Hotspur Football Club have just confirmed that Ronnie Moncur has signed his first professional contract with the club. The 17-year-old attacking midfielder has regularly featured for our under-18s throughout this current campaign, his first as a full-time player. In January, Ronnie stepped up to make his under-21s debut against Derby County in Premier League 2 and has made 2 appearances at that level to date. Part of the Moncur footballing dynasty, Ronnie's uncle John Moncur played for Tottenham in the late 80s and early 90s, while his grandfather, also named John Moncur, held senior scouting and youth development roles with us over the last 25 years through until 2005. The Boot Room have just reported that Tottenham Hotspur are among a host of clubs keen to profit from Leon Bailey's situation at Aston Villa this coming summer. Spurs could be forced to compete with the likes of Bayern Munich, RB Leipzig, Frankfurt, Marseille and Manchester United in their pursuit of a deal for Leon Bailey. However, Bailey's hefty £120,000 per week salary could be an obstacle in negotiations, as such a wage would place the wide man fourth on their list of highest paid players. Now, my thoughts on everything in this episode. Let's start by talking about the transfer rumours. Of course, the transfer window opens in just a couple of months' time. So, of course, Spurs are being heavily linked with every single player under the sun right now. But the main ones on the list in the last 24 hours or so, Jack Grealish of Manchester City, Leon Bailey of Aston Villa, and, of course, Jonathan David of Lille. He is available on a free transfer in the summer. Spurs are always being linked to Jonathan David, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens there because a whole host of Premier League clubs and clubs around Europe are interested in him. Leon Bailey, is he better than what we've got at the moment? I don't believe he is. Jack Grealish is an interesting one. I think that it would have been very, very exciting news for all of us Spurs fans if we signed him, 5 years, 6, 7, 8 years ago. It would have been a very, very exciting move, and it would have shown a lot of ambition, certainly in terms of ambition, direction, etc., at the football club. It just seems that he can't get much game time under Pep Guardiola this season. Would he fit in well at Spurs? I believe he would. Is he the same player as a couple of years ago? Probably not. Is he better than what we've got? I always ask myself that when we're linked to a player, is he better than what we've got? I think Jack Grealish would be a great addition at Tottenham. Would I have preferred him 5 years ago or so? Absolutely. I think that we should have signed him then. Big fan of Jack Grealish. I still believe that he's got a lot more to give. And as I say, I think he would fit in extremely well. Will Spurs pay a really decent fee for him? That is an interesting question. And of course, will Jack Grealish come to Spurs on £200,000 a week when he's getting 300 at the moment? Probably not. It is probably not realistic. I always say this about transfer windows and when we're being linked to players, you've got to go out there. You've got to go out in the window and show real ambition and, get Tottenham back to where we are used to being, and that is in top European spots. And as I keep saying, year after year, window after window, show some ambition like we're going to really be a force and challenge for top honours, i.e. the Premier League, i.e. wanting to go very far in the Champions League and really, really go for it. It's just disappointing year after year that we don't seem to ever be in that position. Many people believe that we have gone through lots of rebuilds. Ange Postecoglou came in and all of us said this is a huge rebuild. Harry Kane leaves the football club, but it's all about the players that you bring in. Are these players going to take us to that next level? Of course, we didn't have any European football last season. We're playing the Europa League. Of course, it is our last chance to win a trophy this season. If we don't win the Europa League, it looks very, very unlikely that we will not be playing any European football for next season. But if we are in the Champions League, we'll go on to win the Europa League this season. We are in the Champions League. I tell you what, it's got to be a huge summer. It has to be a huge summer anyway, but even bigger when you're playing Champions League football, because it is absolutely massive and you need top experienced players. We've got a lot, and I've spoken about it at length in previous episodes. We've got so many players for the future, so many players, rising stars as well, but you need players with vast experience, especially in top competitions like the Champions League, if we are to playing it next season. £100 million, apparently, Daniel Levy has told Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid, and rightly so. If Christian Romero wants to leave the football club this summer, then I'm sure, I know that Tottenham will want top money for our World Cup winner in Christian Romero. So I am not at all surprised by that price tag. And Daniel Levy is a very, very good negotiator, and he normally gets top money for our players. And I've no doubt if Romero does leave Spurs this summer, then we will get a really, really decent fee. A really interesting comment from Alan Brazil from TalkSport, and of course, a former Tottenham Hotspur player, I might add. He said, "I hear Ange Postecoglou is not a vocal leader." I don't know what he means by this about not getting in players' faces, because we've seen many, many times, for someone like me who goes home and away, I've seen Ange Postecoglou and actually heard him a lot of the times as well. Really shout and really go off on one to certain players, particularly when he first arrived. Effing and blinding and telling the players to pass the ball forward. We've seen it many, many times, and I believe that Ange Postecoglou is like that in the changing room with the players as well. I don't think he is the sort of person to be polite and quiet and reserved. So I don't know where those comments are coming from. I feel like at the moment it's very easy to stir the pot in terms of speculation, in terms of stories, and players don't do this and players don't do that, and managers don't do this and don't do that. It's very, very easy at the moment. But as I keep saying, we've got 9 games left in the Premier League. We've got a lot to play for in terms of the Europa League as well. And yes, I do believe that Spurs will definitely prioritise the Europa League. But those 9 games in the Premier League are also very, very important. And we've got to go out there and give our all and try and get the results and finish in a... I don't even know how to word this. Respectable position. I don't even think respectable would be a mid-table finish in 10th, would it? No, it wouldn't. After the season we've had, it's going to be a poor finish in the Premier League. So all hopes on the Europa League this season. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you on the next one. Come on, you Spurs.